Hey guys, welcome back to Jurassic Collectibles. So, as you know, I'm a big fan of Star Wars, and I grew up watching the films, and if you haven't seen already, we've got a Boba Fett helmet replica and a lightsaber, a working lightsaber replica. So one of the things I've always wanted to add to my collection is a thermal detonator. Now, I have been after the Master Replicas Thermal Detonator for some time, and it's one thing that's actually quite hard to track down. It's quite expensive, and I don't really want to pay that much for a thermal detonator. So I was doing a little bit of looking online, and I came across this. Now, this is a thermal detonator hot potato game, and it was to tie in with the celebration of Return of the Jedi, the 30th anniversary, and it was released at Disney. It was a limited edition piece, and it's essentially a countdown hot potato game. So you turn it on, and then the little lights at the front blink. They make the film accurate sounds, and then at the end it explodes. So you've got to kind of throw the hot potato around your friends until it eventually explodes.
At last we will have revenge.
So it's quite a cool little game, but what came to mind was how much of a replica this is. It seems to be sort of half based on the one you see in the film and half based on the one you see in the Clone Wars 3D TV series. And to be honest, I'm not too fussed about that inaccuracy. I think it's a great looking little replica, but it's looking a little bit plasticky and a little bit kind of Disney toy cheap. So what I was thinking is I'm going to actually weather and give this thermal detonator, the surface of this thermal detonator, a patina, like a metallic patina, to make it look more like the one we see in the film. So here is the thermal detonator out of the packaging, and it's actually a really nice collectible. I think I would have been really pleased if I'd gone to Disneyland and bought this for myself. As you can see, it comes with a little stand, and that's got Star Wars on it. But yeah, it's a really nice little piece. And on the back we've got the power switch, and this has got three modes. It's got a game mode, which is the hot potato game, and it's also got a movie mode, and the movie mode just plays the sound effects as it was in the movie and doesn't really count down to the game. So that's really nice that we've got that option. Now obviously the grooves on the surface don't match the ones we see in the film, but I'm more going for the metallic patina in terms of the closeness to the one we see. Also, you can see we've got the battery compartment with some literature on it, and we've also got where the sound emanates from. I'm going to leave that because that kind of helps with the electronics, but in terms of this literature I might be tempted to sand that off. Obviously we need to keep access to this power switch on the back as well, but again, that's not something that's going to be on display when it's on my shelf, so I'm quite happy to leave the power switch exposed. So I've taken the liberty of sanding off that literature that we saw on the bottom. It was very simple, just did it with a bit of sandpaper, and you can see some of the paint is wearing off, but that's okay because we're going to respray this thing. That is the plan. So what I've done is I've printed off some reference images of the thermal detonator. I'll just get that in focus so you can see. And the thermal detonator itself has this almost like a chrome plating. It's harder to see in this picture, but it's got chrome plating all over the body, and then it's kind of chipped off over time. It's a bit easier to see here. You can see there's areas of chrome, and there's one getting like a specular highlight here, and then there's parts that aren't getting that highlight, and that's the kind of worn metal underneath. It's also clear on this one. You can see here the chrome plating, and then there's something underneath which is the worn away metal that's underneath. So from looking at the thermal detonator, I think we can get this kind of effect by spraying a layer of chrome over the top in certain areas. This will actually do as the base coat, and then we're going to do the chrome plating that's kind of chipped away over the top, and we're going to sort of artificially create that look that it's been chipped away by just painting in specific areas. And the way we're going to do that is by masking off the negative spaces. So in the areas where it's not, we're actually going to put masking fluid and then spray with chrome the gaps that are left. There is almost like a gold fringe going on around these sort of plated areas, almost like you're getting an indication of some other type of like copper plating that maybe was underneath, but it looks kind of like a gold colour. So I've actually picked up a gold pen, and I'm actually going to draw on the gold line. So here is the silver chrome. This is just like auto spray paint, so for your cars. So this is what we're going to be using to create this chrome effect. Here's the masking fluid. This is just simple watercolor masking fluid, but really any masking fluid will do. And we're just going to use this to paint off the areas that we don't want the chrome to go on. And then as a last touch, I'm going to do a coat of enamel to give it an extra high gloss, just to really sort of sell that chrome finish. Okay, so I've already done the top half on this one, but I'm going to show you the process that I am doing. So it's a little bit difficult on this one because we've got the sound holes, but I'm going to leave those there because we want the electronics to come through. But what I'm going to do is just use this reference roughly to recreate the lines on the surface that I can see around the edges. So I'm just going to do that now by hand. So I just want to create something sort of jagged around here, and I might go over these in a minute just to get something a bit more accurate, but I just want to get something roughly like the reference. And this side is quite frayed as well, so I'll just go in and sort of roughly match. It only needs to be rough because, you know, you're never going to get this spot on. And then what I'm going to go in and do is mask off the negative space, so the area that we don't want the paint. So let's open up the masking fluid. And this masking fluid is quite runny, so if I just start painting an area, you'll see that it's not doing it so much here, but it's starting to evaporate around these areas. And that's okay. You just need to paint back into those areas to make sure that the masking fluid has sort of taken to the surface. So just go in and just lightly paint. You don't need to be 100% because you've made up these lines anyway. And just go in and just sort of, you know, try and get that sort of rough frayed edge and try and keep that. And when this dries, it will create a clear film, so you won't actually be able to see it after this point. So there we go, I'm fairly happy with that panel. Okay, so now that's dry, we want to go in with a gold pen, and I'm not sure if this is going to work or not, but I thought it might be a good idea to add gold around the fringes so that we get sort of like a layered metallic effect. So all I'm going to do is just dab a little bit of gold around the fringes of all the borders like this. So that is that. Okay, so that's one, and then I just repeat this on all of the others. Okay, so that's all the gold bits applied and everything masked off. The clear parts are obviously where we've masked off. Put a little bit of masking tape on the switch here. This is more for me to hold it than anything. So I've masked off the front red LED area. I put masking tape across the front 3 LEDs, so masked off the switch because we don't want paint getting in any of those areas. I've also masked off this whole sort of trench going along the middle. Do you see the kind of repetition of the themes of the Death Star in this design? But yeah, so I've masked off that bit as well, and at some point I'll go back in and make sure that it's this silver colour that's around the middle, but I'll probably re-mask off that area. For now, we're focusing on getting that sort of chrome look. Okay, so that's been spray painted, and while it was still tacky, I set about removing the masking, dried masking fluid. And as you can see, it's come out pretty good. I think the chrome is a little bit more matte than I would like, but actually it's still giving it this really nice metallic patina, and you can see where the gold has kind of worn away at the corners, and that's exactly what I wanted, is this sort of layered metallic effect. So actually I'm pretty pleased with the way this looks. Okay, and here is the completed prop. I have to say I'm really pleased with how this turned out. I never expected it to look sort of so close to the one that we see in the film. The paint is a couple of days old and it's just a little bit tacky still. I'm tempted to do another clear coat, but I don't want to lose that distinction between the original paint and the new paint with the extra clear coat on it. So yeah, I'm really pleased with this. Here where the sound emanates from, I've actually used a darker brown to create a patch so that it's not so obvious around here, so I think that's come out pretty well. Yeah, but I'm really pleased with how this came out. Just looks really genuine. It just so happens that I have a spare glass case, so I've got somewhere to put this on display as well, but it's fantastic. So yeah, I think this makes a great present. It costs at most probably about $30, and maybe you could use it as a Christmas ball as well. You could attach a piece of string and have it on your Christmas tree, a Star Wars themed Christmas tree. But I hope you guys liked this look at creating a prop replica thermal detonator. As usual, rate, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.